Hi, everybody. I'm Save Robbie, and this is my commentary channel. This is my third channel, really. My main channel is Save Robbie, and if you want to subscribe to that, you can look in the description or in the comments of this video. Today, I'm going to be doing a spoiler-free review of the new Scream movie, Scream 2002 or Scream 5. I am going to be doing a spoiler version of this with Lokamai, who I did the final trailer reaction with, and a couple of other people. But I'm going to do this in case you're, looking to go see the movie or interested in it. So gather around and we'll get started. No, no chance. No, no dance. No, no chance. No, no dance. No, no chance. Give me second chances. That's so cool! I won! Yay! Ow! Ow! So I am a huge fan of all of the other Scream movies. I do feel like the sequels tend to go a little bit overboard with some things because I like the realistic, scary elements of the Drew Barrymore scene in the very opening scene. So with that being said, first of all, I want to say, and this goes mainly for Scream movies, what I expect from them, but any scary movie, really, I understand in this movie or in actually even in the first Scream, like there was a scene where Tatum and Sydney were in the store, like the gas station or grocery store, and Ghostface was in there just in the broad daylight. I understand not a lot of people knew the costume at the time. Maybe they could get away with it in that movie, but any scene in the broad daylight or something like that that's not going to be very believable um doesn't it doesn't scare me because it's not very realistic. And with Scream, I'd rather it be more realistic. I understand these movies are fun, but basically this movie starts out like the original Scream, if you've seen it, with an opening phone call and attack. I'm not going to get into who or whatever. I'm sure by the trailer you could kind of put two and two together. And then it kind of brings Melissa Barrera's character back to the town, which she has a secret in the movie, which is revealed pretty early on in the movie. And then it opens up a whole new cast of characters before we're introduced to the legacy characters, Sydney, Dewey, and Gail. And all of the characters, I really love them. I think they're great. Obviously, a standout character is the one on the far left. That is Mindy Meeks. She plays Randy's niece, who is a twin of the guy in the middle. His name is Chad in the movie. And then we have Amber right next to Mindy here, Wes, the blonde guy, and then Liv. And then, of course, we have Melissa Barrera's character, Sam, and her sister, Tara. And, of course, Judy Hicks, which I love Judy Hicks. There is a scene in this movie, obviously, you can see in the trailer. It is a pretty intense scene. It's a really good scene. It's very, how do I say this without, I don't want to spoil anything. It's very intense. I'm just going to say that because any other thing will just, I don't know, kind of give it away. But my only problem with this is that it's in the daylight. Okay. And with that being said, I'm going to move on to another part of it, which, first of all, this movie really is good. I think it's probably the best sequel besides the second one. It might be better than two, but I'm not really sure yet. I think I need to watch it again. But there is a hospital scene. I'm sure you've seen this plenty of times in the trailer. Now, when I saw the trailer, I didn't really know what was going on here, and I'm not going to spoil why the lights are low or why you don't see any staff in the hospital. I'm going to let you see that for yourself in the movie because I wondered, I was like, where is the doctors and nurse? Like, what is going on here? Why is Ghostface just walking around unnoticed and attacking all these main characters, and then there's no staff in the hospital? You'll see that in the movie. I have an issue with horror movies being chased in very public places. Now, a hospital is a pretty public place. So I just couldn't find myself being scared. Was it fun? Yes, it was. And the scene actually was pretty good, But again, I don't know, I'm a Gemini and my mind overthinks. And I was really just wishing it would be a little bit more realistic because I truly feel, and this is just my personal opinion, that Scream movies are fun and they are my favorite scary movies because they're not like too over the top gory but this one was pretty brutal. Um, but they're fun because it's like a game of Clue and it's a guessing game of who done it. That's my favorite part about it. But I really feel like if they stuck with like, okay, in the Scream franchise, Drew Barrymore's scene stands out to me as like that is how I want a scene to go in a Scream movie, as far as like a scary scene. Sarah Michelle Gellar in the second one, that is how like the scene should go. It should be like a game of cat and mouse. It should be dark. The person with the phone call should be secluded. And that's just to me, that's more realistic and what's really scary about those parts. And to me, those are Scream scenes. Scream 3, I can't really point out a scene that I would say I really enjoyed because that was just, I mean, that's a fun one, but it doesn't have true Scream elements to it, in my personal opinion. The fourth one, don't get me started. I guess the Kirby phone call was kind of cool, but then again, they were in a house full of other people. So, in a Scream sequel, I would expect, I know you can't redo the Drew Barrymore scene over and over, but you are in a small town of Woodsboro in most of these movies, and there's plenty of secluded places, and you can wait until nighttime to do your attacks. Just in my personal opinion, okay? Chill out. So let's get to Gale Weathers in this film. I love Courtney Cox. Gale Weathers is my favorite character. She's also a fellow Gemini in real life. Um, she didn't feel like Gale Weathers in this film. Likable, yeah. She wasn't in it that much, but I mean, her character has evolved. But I prefer Gale Weathers to be like, she's Gale Weathers. She's a clout chaser. That's how her character should be. She's kind of bitchy. In this one, she was very kind and soft, and I didn't feel really any elements of Gale Weathers coming out. But was she an enjoyable part of this film? Absolutely. And she has some pretty good standout moments in this film, as well as Sydney does as well. But I have to say, like, okay, so they go back to the original, the house, Stu Macher's house from the first one. Somehow in this movie, we end up here. Again, I'm not going to say how or why. I'll let you see that for yourself. How do I say this? Because I want to be really nice because I really did enjoy this movie, but I feel like maybe this movie was trying to give us what we want as far as the nostalgia from the first one, but it was almost like when you're craving a food that you haven't had in a really long time and then you taste it and you're like, "Oh, I guess I really wasn't that hungry for it." Because going back to that house and all that, I mean, was it cool to see? Yeah, and I'm an overthinker, so to know that this movie was filmed, like, on a soundstage and also in, what was it, North Carolina? Not even Colorado or California. I'm an overthinker, so I'm like, "Oh, it's not the house anyways." Um, I just wish that here's what I wish. Um, this movie would have been really good if I don't think as much as I love Sydney and we love seeing Sydney in Scream, I don't think it was necessary to bring her back because Nev Campbell has said herself, you know, Scream can tend to get a little bit repetitive. So seeing Sydney in a third act of a movie, because she is in the third act, I think everybody kind of knows that from reviews and just from watching the trailer, you can kind of sense that for yourself. So to see her in kind of that final thing, it's like, how many times can again, I'm trying to be realistic about it. How many times can Sydney be in this situation in her life? I mean, come on. Okay. She's a mother in this film. So I can see why she wanted to go and kind of battle this because she's like got that mama bear in her. But I don't know. I think I don't have kids, but realistically, I think I would want to stay with my children. Okay. Don't cut me. I'm just saying. Um, Do I think it was reasonable to have Gail Weathers in the film? Yes, because she's a news reporter. So of course she's going to be there. And Dewey lives there and they kind of seek him for help. So with Sydney being away, to me, it just kind of wasn't realistic for her to really want to come back into this situation, especially as a mother. Again, this is my opinion. I'm just giving my review based on what I kind of wanted or expected from this. So I think this movie was a 7 out of 10. Again, when we do the spoiler review, I don't know, we might do it live, me and Lokamai and Amber and everybody else, or we might just set it as a premiere, but it'll open up a discussion. But we want to give people time to watch the movie before we do a spoiler review. But I'd say it's a 7 out of 10. It was really fun. I would say definitely go see it because it's a fun movie. If you're kind of an overthinker like myself, you might pick it to pieces a little bit, but overall enjoyable. And it was, as far as a Scream movie, scary. You have your jump scares and stuff. A lot of the jump scares you kind of saw in the trailer though. Okay. But again, the kill scenes are really crazy and it's an emotional movie too. It's not really as humorous as any of the other ones. I mean, there are like Mindy, she's a funny character. Gail is funny here and there, but it's very dark. And I really wanted a dark one, kind of like the first one, but the humor is really not there like it was in the first one. But I preferred it to be darker anyways, so that's okay. The standout character, I would say, through the entire movie, I do love Mindy, but besides Gail Weathers being my favorite character, I think Tara, Jenna Ortega played her. She was fantastic. She was just great. I don't want to give details again because that would kind of be spoilerish. You get the Drew Barrymore vibes from her scene here that you see her in, but she's just, her character is very innocent, and I think that's what made Drew Barrymore's scene really scary and sad. Is that she's Drew Barrymore, so she's just lovable, and Jenna Ortega has this lovable innocence and just adorableness about herself, and her character, she's just a good actress too. You didn't feel like she was overacting at any point, anything, and she was just really was the highlight of this movie, in my personal opinion. So I would say definitely go see it. Again, 7 out of 10. And when we can get into spoilers, that'll be more fun. But that is my spoiler-free quick review on Scream. Sorry, my voice is a little bit hoarse. If you can't tell, I have been a little bit sick lately, but I did have a test. You know what I'm talking about? And I'm good to go. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I kind of changed this Save Robbie Rant channel to doing stuff like this, entertainment stuff like that, because I really enjoy doing stuff like this. So if you like this content, like and subscribe. And then again, my main channel is Save Robbie, and that'll be in the description and in the comments of this video. And I hope to see you guys soon. And I will see you soon for the spoiler. So I'll see you next time. No chance, no dance, no chance, no dance, no chance. Give me second chances. That's so cool.